Myself, we are going through a very mzee, kama kutakuwa na kitu nitakupatia nafasi, bado tuko wengi wetu tuko na shughuli ya kuenda leo, na ndiposa uliona tulianza mapema. Kwa hivyo kabla sijapatia viongozi wetu dakika chache, ningependa kujibu yale maneno ambayo tumesema. Na I'm very happy that everybody is under pressure here. So it will mean that save time. Otherwise ukipatia hawa wakati iko sawa wataongea masaa. Yeah, hata mimi niko under pressure for the next event. So I will try to condense my response. Mimi nawashukuru sana kwa yale mmesema. Na kwanza niseme kama vile nilianzisha kusema kwa opening remarks, hii kikao ni inatusaidia tuelewe. Nikitoka hapa saa hizi kama waziri, naelewa Vihiga kwa njia moja ama nyingine kwa sababu ya matamshi yenu. Na unajua watu 3, 4, 5, 6 wakishaongea from sehemu moja, utajua the real problem ni nini. What are the key problems that you have. Pia maofisa wa serikali wenye wako hapa, kama vile mmesema maneno kidogo, niko pia na maneno kidogo ningependa kusema kabla sijajibu haya maswali. Ya kwanza ni kusema kwamba sisi wote, chief, assistant chief, OCS, police officers wenye wako hapa and other people who are serving in different cadre, tujue ya kwanza kama kabla hatujajitetea kuongezewa mshahara, kupewa allowances, kununuliwa gari, kufanya mambo yote, tujue kwanza sisi wenye tuko hapa tuko na privilege ya kuwa na kazi. We are among the small minority of people in Kenya who earn salary every month and who have an office. Na uko na kitu unavaa, uko na crown hivi, you are among actually the most dependable person in where you come from, because you have the privilege of accessing employment kwa serikali. Pia tujue ya kwamba chiefs wangapi wameandikwa kazi in the last 2 years. Hata wengine salary haijafika lakini waliandikwa in the last 2 years, ndio? The last 2-3 years. Inua mkono. Yeah. Sinaona ni wengi. Hawa chief walikuwa kazi ilitangazwa, wakaita watu wengi, walikuwa wanajua hakuna ofisi, wanajua ana motorbike, alikuwa anajua kwamba hakuna extraneous allowance, lakini bado alienda interview. Na ni 2 years ago. Yeah? Na unajua alifika interview akaulizwa, chief, sasa wewe, alikuwa candidate kuwa chief, ukipewa nafasi kuwa chief, utafanya kazi namna gani na hakuna ofisi ya chief kwa hii location? Akasema, bwana county commissioner, ama mwenye alikuwa anasimamia pana, anamwambia mimi, I am the most creative person. I don't need an office. Everywhere will be, it will be my office. Na kwa sababu candidates walikuwa wengi, wengine wakastama nini, panel ikasema huyu ndio anatoshea. Mara tu alipoingia ofisi akasema hii kazi gani hata haina ofisi na haina motorbike. Wengine wanaambiwa sasa hakuna motorbike utafanya aje, anasema hapa location yangu hapa mimi wanatembea mguu kila mahali hapa. Saizi anasema ofisi ya chief waziri haikai vizuri kwa sababu hakuna motorbike. So we need to appreciate that we asked for these jobs with a purpose. And the first thing is to serve. The fire that was in your belly when you are applying for this job must be reignited. You must create that passion. You must have a purpose. If your only reason why you have this position is money, then you are in the wrong job. Wewe resign, uende ufanye biashara. Because that's the only thing ya kufanya kwa biashara ni kutengeneza pesa. Hii kazi ni utumishi kwa wananchi na kujitolea. Now you have to go back, you have to speak to yourself, who appreciate kwamba this is a job, this is a calling, there is a purpose, there is a responsibility. There is somebody else also out there who is looking at you and anasema tungekuwa na chief mzuri. Ingesaidia sana kwa hii area kuhakikisha. Kwa sababu anakompea wewe na chief ya another location, ama assistant chief ya another location. So let's do our job. That applies to our OCSs. OCS mjue kwamba jana ulikuwa constable, ulikuwa nini, rise up. Sasa ile position uko nayo kama OCS is a position of leadership. Ile position uko nayo kama base commander is a position of leadership. You are the leader. You must behave as a leader. How you dress, how you talk, what you do. Hakuna haja ukue. Sasa wewe OCS police station hujawahi kutana hata na maaskari wako mupange program ya what you are going to do. That is a failure of leadership. You know? Wewe ni OCS wa community fulani, umefika. Hujajua hata nani ndio major stakeholders kwa hapa. Uendi kanisa, uendi msikiti, uendi mazishi, utembelei anything. So how will you get cooperation from the community if you are not building networks ya kufanya kazi within the community? Ukipata mahali OCS ako na wapendani na chief, there is a problem there. Because that is the first stakeholder. Kama unakosana na chief, so utakosana na wananchi wote kwa hiyo sehemu. Of course, unless the chief is also a criminal. But generally, the idea is to ensure that you build synergy, demonstrate leadership. Ukiona community yenye police station inachomwa na wananchi wa hapo hawakaziriki na wakora wenye wamechoma police station, then there is a problem with leadership within the police station. It must be, you must provide leadership to the extent that it is the wananchi who are protecting their police station. Let me tell you something. The reason mmesema kwa hapa wananchi wengi hawakuji, hawaleti witnesses, hawakuji kusupport, hawakuji kurecord statement. You know the reason why they don't come to record the statement is because they don't trust your leadership. Yeah? Wanajua iliripotiwa last year, the other year. Aya, wanajua hata waliripoti mtu ya bangi, lakini mwenye aliripoti alienda akanyongwa. So they know their lives are not safe. Nobody is bothered in terms of protecting them. Aya, some police stations unaenda kureport crime, unafikiria umereport confidentially, umepeana information confidentially, unapata OCS ndio ameenda kumwambia ule jamaa, by the way, chungana sana na mzee fulani, na nimekuambia sio ati umwambie, yeah? Lakini yeye ndiye amekuja kuniambia huko kwa hiyo biashara ya chang'aa. So you see, it will not help. You must be honest to your oath of office to make sure that you are acting in a confidential manner. You are protecting the citizens ya hiyo sehemu. Nimeona hii mamache yangu mwenyewe kama waziri. Kwa sehemu ambayo tumefanya operations huko Kerio Valley. Zamani, hapo mwezi kadhaa ilikuwa mbele, wananchi hawataki kuleta information, hawataki hata kuongelelea, hawataki cooperate. Even chiefs, they were fearing for their lives. So they could not even talk. Lakini wakati National Police Service walieneza operation na kushika wakora ambao ni sugu na wakapelekewa hatua ya kisheria. Siku hizi wananchi wanasema hata wacha hao watano mlichukua, kuna huyu mwingine, because now they have the confidence kwamba something can be done. We need to restore confidence among our citizens as National Police Service, through you, the OCSs, through the police officers, by acting on every report that is given by the citizens. And if you act on 2, they will give you 5, and you will together work together to sort out problems in your locality, in your division. Those number 2, seek knowledge. Sikuwe mtu tu unatembea hapa unafanya kazi hata you are not getting new ideas, new. I appreciate both of you mmesema there must be continuous training. That is true. And that's what we have realized in the ministry. We must continue at the workshops, conferences, hata kama ni siku 2, siku 3. That's why OCS saizi, they are going through 3 days conference. And the ones I went to close the conference the other day, they were extremely happy and they were appreciating that those 3 days has opened up their mind in many things. You see, for some of us here who went through various trainings, we became teachers in the university, we are in Bunge, we are going for workshops all the time, we actually don't know how a one-day training changes the life of an officer. And that's why training, hata nyinyi mkiongea kwa hapa, mtu mwenye anasikia kwa kwingine anafikiria tumekuja kupoteza wakati hapa. But training is a very important factor. In coming together in workshops and conferences is important. Hata kutoka tu nyumbani vile mmetoka leo. Mmesema tumeenda mkutano huko kwa town. Yeah? Wakati unarudi umekuwa energized. Ukweli ama sio kweli? Umepatana na watu, umeongea kuliko tu mwage changa throughout the year. Na hata utoki huko utembee ukuje namna hii. So training is important, but also seek your own knowledge. Nilikuwa nasema na nimeona watu ina train kwa zamu fulani. Niliwaambia chief ni mtu anajua kila kitu. Kuna chief ajui kitu? Si chief anajua kila kitu? Si ni ukweli? Si chief anajuanga hata kusema ukweli? Si chief anajua nani alilala wapi, kaamuka saa ngapi? Unaongeza chief anasema huyo. Unajua chief si ati anajua tu kwa sababu yeye ni omnipresent. Chief ako na network, kuna ka village elder, kama mama mtaa hapo, anamwambia nimekutana na nani saa 9, ametoka kwa nyumba ya nani anaenda kwa ile ati anaenda nyumbani. So chiefs ni watu ukweli ama sio kweli? Si nyinyi ndio mna sign mambo ya IDs? Mna signia watu mambo ya IDs. Ukiuliza chief hii mtoto ni ya nani? Anakuambia huyu ni mtoto wa umwami nani, lakini nani anafikirianga ni yake. So wacha tusainie huyu mwenye ako na yeye, ndio? So kama chief ni mtu anajua mambo yote, hakuna haja uende baraza kama chief ama mkutano ya hadhara na uende huko ukiulizwa swali useme sijui. Watu wata lose confidence. Unaenda baraza ati chief anasema sijui sha. Anaulizwa sha inasaidia aje? Anasema hata mimi nasikia tu ninatoka huko. Kwanza leadership kando. Unasikia watu wanasema na tutapata wapi chief mwenye alielewa hii mambo ya sha ndio atueleze. So you must add value all the time. New government policies zikikuja, unaenda haraka, unapitia, nasikia kwa YouTube waziri akiongea, rais akisema, ile pamphlets inatumwa, unasoma. Add knowledge. Always work towards having more knowledge. Na ukiona umekuwa cornered kabisa ujue kitu. Ukiulizwa swali unasema tulikuwa tuna discuss hiyo kitu na county commissioner, there is something alikuwa na confirm, but by next week tutakuwa kwa sababu umekuwa cornered kwa mahali, alafu haraka unaenda Google na usikize vile inaendelea. Ukweli ama sio kweli? Kwa subject yenye ujui na unajua itatokea kwa baraza, tembea na kijana moja ama expert moja ya locality. Na mwambie wewe umekuwa ukitaka kuongea kwa hii location, niko na maneno kidogo nataka uende useme. Wewe unaleta ukifika baraza unaambia wananchi niko na maneno mingi na nyinyi leo. Lakini kabla sijaongea kuna kijana hapa ako na maneno kichache. Lakini wewe unajua huyu ataongea for 30-40 minutes. Naambia basi wacha akuje aongee. Wewe ushike kalamu, kitabu, akiongea wewe unaandika ile yenye anasema. Ukisimama una revise tu moja, unasema for example una emphasize moja na unasema but niko na maneno mengi nitaweza kuja kusema kwa baraza inayokuja. Yoni tofauti ya mtu ya ngao na mtu tu hivi mwenye akiulizwa swali anasema sijui. So you must always be creative, get knowledge, understand your subject, look for ways of appreciating the work you do. You cannot lead if you cannot read. You cannot lead. In fact, the most consequential leadership is not the holding the office. It is the one who knows. Ukifika mkutano hata ukiwa mheshimiwa na mtu wananchi wanasema tunataka nani kwanza atueleze mambo fulani kabla hajapatia mheshimiwa, ujue umezama, because huyo nani ndio the next MP. Si ni ukweli ama sio kweli? Sasa hata wewe chief ukienda baraza na kuna watu wanasema wacha nani kwanza tupange sisi alafu wewe chief utamalizia baadaye, unajua umepoteza network. Kuna chiefs wengine wanakuja hata baraza anastaga. Watu wanasema ni chief nani chief, and that's why you see some of them are interdicted, all those rehabilitation and all the other things. The last thing is corruption. We must deal with the monster of corruption. And I want to thank Mr. Cheboy, huyu best commander. Hajakuja hapa kudefend mambo ya bribery kwa barabara. Amesema we have that problem. Ame own up to the problem. Na hajablame mtu mwingine. Amesema let us invest in technology, create better training framework, let us do this, and he has given suggestions of what needs to be done. Sehemu zingine watu tu wanasema kama nyinyi mnaleta tutachukua. Hata Lord's Prayer inasema lead us not into temptation. Sasa tukilidiwa sasa tutafanya aje? Na sisi ndio sikutoa, sisi ndio tulipewa. We need to appreciate that. Yes, kuna watu huko they want to compromise us, they bring money. But that's why we have this job. We have to do everything to ensure that we are doing justice to the people. Chiefs, hii maneno ya succession kwa hii county ni very, very emotive. If as a chief you are taking bribes from some of the family members, from some of characters, ndio usaidie hawa uache wale wengine, laana iko kwako na pia sheria will catch up with you. We must be truthful in what we do, not defiling the officers we hold because of kitu kidogo na mambo ya bribery. Na nimesema hivi, hakuna pombe, hakuna bangi, hakuna nini inauzwa kwa mali bila compromise ya chief na OCS. Mmenisikia? Si tulisema chiefs wanajua kila kitu? Yeah, so hakuna mahali pombe inauzwa na bangi na chang'aa bila support ya polisi na administration. So tuwache kulalamika hapa. Go and do the job. Go and do the job. You know, go and just do your job in your area. OCS, go and organize yourself with your chiefs, do your job. We can ask for further support, further enforcement. We talk to the judiciary. I'm told that there is a good multi-agency team working here, but we must solve the problem. And those are three problems. One, Kwa County, New Year Pombe. I'm very happy to notify here. Yesterday when I was in Kakamega, I said, Kakamega is the leading producer, yeah, chang'aa. Ni ukweli. Na viongozi wengine pia ni investors kwa hiyo chang'aa. Na pia hawa ni consumers. Na tena hawa ni wale wana facilitate, wanalipa. Kwa mfano, tuliposhika pombe juzi kwa huko Mumias. Hiyo pombe about 400 liters yenye ilimwagwa, mwenye alikuwa anatengeneza alilia sana, alisema nilikuwa na order. Nilikuwa nimepata order ya wanasiasa wana campaign Malava. Yaani imagine bwana. Sema sasa imeniharibia order. Sijui ndapata wapi order ya kusupply. So I want to say here in Vihiga, unlike in Kakamega, in Vihiga, there is insignificant production of illicit alcohol in Vihiga. There is also insignificant planting of marijuana here. The problem of this county is trafficking and consumption. In fact, being destination. And that's why you have the problem of Luanda area when you talk about that, and all these towns, and also the slums, Majengo, and other places. So the thing we need to deal with is to make sure that we do targeted operations to deal with the main suppliers and the main traffickers. So mliniambia, security team washaniambia kuna mama moja hapa amekuwa profiled. Huwa anakuja hapa, analeta, wakati operation ikiendelea, anatorokea Kisumu. So ana bahati, hapa nimewaambia what to do. Kisumu niko huko next week. Nitawaambia what they need to do. We must deal with all those main suppliers ya hii pombe to sort out this place na mambo ya banki. Number two, this place, the problem ya gang is not too bad. I'm saying in comparison to the other counties. However, we must deal with reggae defenders. We must deal with Nduthi what? The 42 brothers, you've done a good job. 42 what? The brothers. Yeah? So, you've done a good job so far. We need to make sure that we sort this issue. And the influx of the other gangs from Kisumu County to this place, that is an issue that we must be able to deal with. Number three, defilement and gender-based violence. As I said, part of the things that are keeping this behavior go on is the community, the society itself. I want to ask you, chiefs, and assistant chiefs, the reason why you are a resident of that place, it is assumed that you have the greatest interest because your children, your neighbors, and you are living there, you will retire there. So let us organize barazas and sensitization workshops and meetings at home to make sure that our people are sensitized on how to report on cases of defilement. Let's work with the security sector to make sure we apprehend these people who are defiling our girls. Because this is an area that we cannot condone, and also to deal with the problems of gender-based violence. Those are the three areas. And last one is fraud, land especially related issues. We will do what we need to do as National Police Service, as a security sector, but on your end, we must also, Governor and the Department of Lands in the national level will help us also on the question of registration and the registrars that deal with matters of lands, so that proper rights are dealt with. I know that some places here the title deeds are an issue, but there was the people who had been moved from here to go to this side, which was a forest before, Shambirika, yeah? Shambiringa. I was in the cabinet when it was passed. That now it has been moved. It's going to be moved to become, and those people will get their title. So I think Minister of Lands will expedite that process to make sure that this issue is sorted with finality. Now, there are things you have raised. Now, those are the things I wanted to say. I want to respond to the things you said in another 10 minutes. One, mmesema mambo ya welfare. I agree that welfare issues must be dealt with here. Now we are dealing with some of them. On the matter of training, you can see now we have started workshops for the OCSs, training for you, the chiefs and assistant chiefs, and this will be continuous. By the time we launch the overall report here, Jukwaa La Usalama, by His Excellency the President, we will have been very clear on the models of training for officers in this sector. And we want to do that before November, because we are finishing this Jukwaa La Usalama fora in the next, we will have done 47 counties by the end of this month. And we will have spent about 500 hours sitting and listening, you know, and doing things within various counties. And this is very significant for us because it has taught us so many things that we need to do. And so in that area, we are going to work on the training issues. And as I said earlier, chiefs and assistant chiefs, upon completion, we believe that you will be promoted accordingly based on the areas that you are missing in this issue. If you see those guys who are doing like this, it's because of Embakasi. It's not like they have got lost. You see, they wanted to clap, but they do like this. By the time you finish in Embakasi, you will be saying something. Is that okay, chiefs? Yeah? Umeona hiyo chiefs? Response yao iko chini. Iko chini. What you do, so wana report next week. Ukifika hapo Embakasi, we uliza, wakati ya kuamka asubuhi, wale wa kaunti zingine kama wanaamka saa 11 ni saa ngapi asubuhi? So kama ni 5 watu wengine hao wa Vihiga waamke saa 8. Si namna hiyo? Mmesikia chiefs? Bado. Unaona kuje saa 7 sasa. Mmesikia chiefs? Sasa hiyo ni ya kuogopa kupoteza usingizi. So I think that it is important. Number 2, mambo ya administrative units has been an issue. Your MPs were follow. They have called me to Parliament. Operationalization of administrative units. We have a plan. We got a little amount of money, juicy, and we will distribute to various counties, kidogo, the operationalization. But in the supplementary budget, we are making a case so that we can do bigger operationalization to malize locations and divisions that are still pending across the country. So it's in our plan that we seek for bigger resources to operationalize these administrative units. Mambo ya elders, nimewambia, we are making very good progress kwa mambo ya elders. Mambo ya vehicles, we have a big problem ya mobility. A serious problem ya mobility. Yeah? And you know, this leasing program, we did it when we came to office in 2013. And it was a massive blessing, a big blessing to the National Police Service and the administrators. But now, over 10 years, there's never been another plan to replace and replenish the resources we need. The numbers have increased. So there's an ongoing procurement between us and Treasury. As soon as it's done, and we are hoping before the end of the year, we can distribute also these vehicles to various police stations and the administrative units and the prisons. However, once it comes, we may be required to share as we progress. If you get in a sub-county mbili, you share fast as we progress until every area is covered across the country. And I understand it's a really serious issue. Kwanza kwa ACCs, you know, ACCs ndio wanaumia hata zaidi. And they have told me that if we can get even one per sub-county, yenye itakuwa pool car for the ACCs, it will be very useful. Namba hiyo bwana ACC. Yeah, so that's something we really want to push, and we will try our best to make sure that we achieve such a ratio. Kwa sababu thank you, niliambiwa na one of the ACCs kwamba, you know, most of them are using duty motorbikes. Yeah? Motorcycles na bodaboda. Si ati ni mbaya. Lakini madam, unatumia bodaboda? Yeah? Imagine sasa mama kama huyu, jameni. Muona huyu madam? Anaambiwa na ule jamaa wa bodaboda kwa hapa, shika vizuri madam. Na niliambia kwa Kakamega, hii watu wakitaka kabisa ushike vizuri, ana accelerate na kufunga brake. Wewe unakuamilia ule mtu ya bodaboda. Sasa ofisa mzima kweli namna hiyo. So it's something that we must be able to sort it. Tumeelewana? Niliambiwa huko Makweni kwamba siku moja mzee wa bodaboda alikuwa amelete ACC. Alipoona baraza kama hii aka-accelerate, kaweka kabisa, yani kuonyesha ni yeye ndiye amelete ACC. Akaangusha mama. Kofia ikapingirika huko, ikaanguka. Ati mtu kwa group akashauta akasema serikali imeanguka. So hatutaki serikali ianguke. Thank you very much, madam. We will try our best to make sure that mobility issues are sorted once and for all. Kwa mambo ya offices, we've had standard design for offices for sub-counties, ACCs, and police stations. What I request to utmost humility, my friends here, the MPs led by Mheshimiwa Ernest here, please, tusaidiane. Tusaidiane hayo. I have heard, I think it's Clement who was being praised kwamba amejenga kakitu pale. I'm sure of course kina Milemba wamengangana na hiyo maneno pale. Kina Dikapo or Yugi, please, tusaidiane pamoja to make sure that through CDF na Mwanakimozi yako upande huu wakili, tusaidiane pamoja through CDF to modernize security sector. Na mimi ni supporter number 1 ya NGCDF. I have said it in Bunge, I've said it in Barazas. Because as a senator, when I came to office in 2013, kuna mashule bado tulikuwa tunachangia kwa kwangu. Lakini because of NGCDF, we don't do school arambees. I don't know huko kama mnafanya school arambees. And infrastructure ya shule imekuwa improved. Now that most of the school infrastructure is improved, I'd like to request with utmost humility our MPs, we work together to improve the infrastructure of our police stations and the chief's offices and ACCs and DCCs so that our counties can be able to move forward. Mambo mengine yenye mesemwa, I guess I've said most of the things. Let me just skim through to see if there is something I have forgotten. On the universities and colleges, we have established through Jukwaa La Usalama kwamba everywhere there is a big concern about the growing number of new population to colleges and universities and absence of security in the vicinity. And we have also realized that kwa mambo ya drugs na pombe, the traffickers and the sellers are actually targeting young people in the colleges and the universities. So as such, we have directed that the sub-county security team should involve dean of students and the student council in every of these institutions in sub-county security meetings from time to time. You can invite them for specific discussion so that you can also get information on how best we can deal with drugs and drug abuse, but also security support. And it will require, Bwana Governor, that every new institution ikikuja, between you and the national government, we make sure that lighting is done around that area. I know that hostels also are being requested. For the students, it's a fantastic thing. But I've also gone to some places where the local community is saying, musilete hostels. You know why? Yeah? You know why? Yeah? Do you know why they don't want hostels? No, because they want the business. They want to be the ones who are building the hostels and leasing to, renting to students. So it is important that we work together to resolve those issues that are related with student and student community. And I thank Professor Kipkurgat and Moses who have come here, and their student leaders who have come here to really expound on that issue. The issue of also career progression, we are working on properly locating where the chiefs are vis-a-vis the ACCs. Sometimes some ACCs are supervising chiefs who are higher ranked than themselves. That is being worked out. But also sometimes also the chiefs are telling me, ukifika mahali, inakuwa ceiling, hakuna pa kwenda tena. So discussion is being done around that issue. But also I have had very important issue that when a vacancy of a chief occurs, the first priority must be the assistant chiefs who are serving in that location be given the first priority, and that it shall be a directive shall be given to all the interview panel on that issue. Mambo ya Ngapu, we are going to roll out Ngapu, and we are going to sort out strength of police officers in our police stations because next week we will announce to you the exact date when recruitment will take place, and so that we have another contingent of about 10,000 police officers that will help us sort out the issue of the gap that we have at the moment. There's a big problem, the gap. But also I've realized we have so many officers who are addicted to alcohol. And I think that rehabilitation is extremely important. Even as National Police Service get places for rehabilitation, Bwana Governor, there is a general request across the country that counties need to invest in rehabilitation centers. Because they are extremely important. Those are the places we could have given you also police officers to be rehabilitated. We have given you government officials. There are so many government officials in this county that have also wamepotelea bangi na nini na hizo vitu zote. So we need to make sure that we have rehabilitation places, and we are going to deal with the strength-related issues in this area. On transfer policy, we are, by the end of this process, we are going to announce a clear policy direction on transfers, on how long a police officer can be in place. Nimeambiwa in Luanda here, there is a police officer who has been there for 18 years. 18 years. Is it true, DCC? Wauko? 18 years. You are yet to confirm. Of one of 10. But nimeambiwa kuna moja wa 18. So kwako mweshi ni 18? I cannot ask you, it is supposed to be them to say. But if a police officer, lazima kwako ni mzuri sana. Mtu anakaa 18 years na ombi transfer. Lakini kama mtu amekaa 18 years in one place. Kama mtoto yake alizaliwa hapo, atakuwa huyo mtoto ni ameenda university akiwa one place. Amekuwa too familiar to the place. I'm just giving us an example. Na I'm told pengine ashatoka sasa. So what we need is to make sure that there is continuous rotation, a proper rotation ya mambo ya transfer, and that we will announce that policy direction at some point in the next 2 months or so after kumalizana na mambo ya Jukwaa. Now also to make sure that deal mental health issues, watu wakitoka operational areas, they come to better places and so forth. SECs na officers also wamesema, transfer ifanywe at the end of the year. Towards the end of the year, isikue abruptly too. Of course, but police officers also understand that something abrupt can happen. But as a principle, it should be towards the end of the year when you are doing the changeover, so that people can plan. When you know the period of time you will serve in a place, then you can plan for your family, your everything in proper good time. And those are the issues. We want to humanize National Police Service and administration. Ama namna gani? Isikuwe ni mahali ya enda, suli tafuta hii kazi, siwe uende sasa, nini. Kuna ACC alituambia jana huko Vihiga, saa zingine kama dada umetembea, umeandikwa kazi ukiwa mdogo, umeenda mahali, wakati nyota yako karibu ishike, unakuwa transferred, unafika huko, haijashika vizuri nyota tena, sasa unakosa bwana, watu wanafikiria ni nyota, kumbe ni sisi, ni transfer. So, of course, she was using it to just illustrate the seriousness of the issue of transfer. It may not be really related to issues of marriage, but it describes really planning and organizing. At a vision. At a ukiwa transferred every 6 months. What will you say you have done in your life? Before you establish yourself to make an impact, umeenda. To make an impact, umeenda. So eventually, when you grow in your profession, you cannot even tell someone, I served in this division, now I made this difference. I served in this division and made a difference. So it must be not too short for anyone to make a difference, but it must also not be too long to perpetuate familiarity in the working environment. Mambo ya AIE, we will work on that. Alcohol, mambo ya offices, as I said, we're working on that. Transfers, mobility, office structure, strength, police officer, AIE, gazettemen, training, capacity building, medical cover. Yes, there is something also being worked on the medical covers of both services. Road designs, I agree. Mambo ya road designs and signage. Protection gear, kama gloves, stretchers, vehicles, and ambulances. For, sometimes we use normal police vehicle to go to a rescue. It's important to have a close working relationship between the traffic department and the county government. And I was with CS Duale telling me that the ministry is going to establish a technology framework where you can see in an app where an ambulance is. And you can see it coming, rescuing someone, taking somebody to hospital. And this will be very useful in terms of rescuing. Postmortem costs, governor to respond. And then mambo ya security, blah, blah, blah. Access road to university. I like the students who talked about Jukwaa La Usalama app. That's important. And I like what the lady spoke about cyber bullying. Cyber bullying, many people think it is us who are in public office only. But there are very many young people, especially girls, that are cyber bullied across the country. And it has led to mental health issues. What I want to encourage our OCSs is to make sure that when someone reports an issue about nimetusiwa social media, we have the Computer and Cyber Crimes Act. Let that person be arrested and charged. Mental health is as important as physical health. Anyone who is assaulting someone mentally is also even the same as the one who physically assaulted, even sometimes worse, because it leads to some people committing suicide and so forth. In other countries, bullying physically and bullying in the cyberspace is taken very, very seriously, especially in developed countries. Sione sometimes some ambassadors wanakuja kusema hapa you are harassing activists and so forth. In their own countries, you cannot say certain things people say in this country. And so we need to take that space seriously and to protect our young people and their mental health. And it will be interesting to see the app that they are presenting to us. Na Jukwaa La Wasomi. I'm happy that Jukwaa is making progress in terms of moving to other areas. Mambo ya ICT hub, IDs to be released for students, I agree, but it is not true that you only get help when you have an ID. I think that position was changed. All students who deserve to get help get Higher Education Loans Board allocation, whether or not they have IDs. But that does not mean we are denying people IDs, because some students are going to school at 17. It doesn't mean that they have to wait to be 18 to get their help. But we are, vile tulikuwa tuna launch hapa, tumetangaza kwamba we want to have live capture machines, and this will make it very fast for us to deal with the IDs issue, and we'll work with our chiefs to make sure that all these things are released in good time. So nimesema mambo mingi? Nimejibu at least something? Tuko pamoja? Are you getting what I'm saying? Yes, sir. So, in respect of our leaders, I want to thank them for Mheshimiwa Governor and all the leaders who are present here for your patience and the respect for these people. Sio watu wengi wanaweza kaa hapa. Unajua bwana governor wengine wataona mimi ni bwana mkubwa. Waheshimiwa wenzangu wenye wako hapa wangesema hii maneno ambia waziri tumetembea na tumeita yeye hata bunge, kwa nini tukuje kuchukua lakini hii ni heshima si kwangu tu, lakini kwa hawa viongozi ambao wameketi pale, na najua kwamba wakiwaangalia mmekaa na hawa hivi pia wanajua kwamba tuko na viongozi wanatuchali. Kwa sababu ya hayo, ningependa kukaribisha sasa viongozi wetu waseme kwa uchache, kwa whatever else they cannot on top, if they want to wave, if they want to say hi, so that because they are all of them under pressure. Na sasa ningependa kuchukua nafasi hii kukaribisha speaker yuko hapa. So now that the speaker is not here, deputy speaker here, please bwana DS. Na unajua mimi ndiye nilifanya ofisi yako ikuwe serious. Yeah? Badilisha sheria nini siku hizi sasa DS ako. Yeah. Deputy Speaker, karibu. Karibu to the podium hapa. We introduce MCAs na uite Mheshimiwa Ernest wa Vihiga hapa. Ndio introduce wabunge wenzetu. Asante sana, karibu.